Well, let's talk a little bit about retirement now. This is an area that researchers are now saying you might want to reconsider. A recent report by Morningstar found that people should be spending less in retirement than previously thought. So not great news when it comes to that modeling. Here to discuss those findings and answer your submitted questions about retirement on social media is Bloomberg's personal finance reporter, Charlie Wells. Charlie, awesome to have you back with us, and as you join us each and every Friday, talk us through the general rule when it comes to retirement spending and how this recent report differs and throws a little water on that.
Right, so the fear is that you spend your life working and saving, and then you retire, you spend, and then you run out of money before you die. I'm sorry to get so bleak on Friday, but the rule of thumb has been that you should withdraw no more than about 4% of your portfolio, and that you will end your life with enough money. Morningstar, a research firm, put out a report recently saying, actually, based on some new assumptions, some new research, you should be withdrawing no more than 3.3% annually. And so that TLDR means you should probably be spending less in retirement than you may have been planning on in order to cover yourself.
And Charlie, I mean, each week you ask our followers on social media their thoughts and their questions. And when it comes to retirement, I mean, are they ready for that conversation?
I was pleasantly surprised by my conversations and my polls to our followers on Instagram this week. So 59% of our respondents said that they felt like they could retire. And often we hear people feeling very bleak about retirement. So that was great news. Also, 59% said that they were currently saving for retirement. And that, in a tough economic environment, is also really good news, that people are able to put away some money. And what I would say is thinking about this in terms of the amount you might be able to spend can be incredibly motivating.
You know, this is great to hear, Charlie, because this is actually different than what I imagined it would be, because we hear the drumbeat of sort of negative reporting around our generation and how we are unprepared for when it comes to retirement, especially with Social Security. And I know you're joining us from London, but here in the United States, with that being under so much pressure. So why else did this surprise you?
Yeah, I mean, it surprised me just because, sometimes when we do talk about, retirement, particularly online, we will get comments from our followers saying, how can you talk about, saving for retirement at a moment when there is so much unemployment? And that is a really serious issue. So it was heartening to see that people are able to do this and are able to think about, their future. Maybe this is an indication of, some undercurrents in the economy improving. Personal finance has also been such a top-of-mind subject for people that the conversation may be changing.
Well, Charlie, we did get one really great question. This is from Trader Joe 111 on Instagram, and he wants to know, how much do you need to retire?
Yeah, that's a really kind of the magic question. And there's really no, magic number, unfortunately. But there is, of course, a rule of thumb, just as there is that sort of 4% or 3.3% now rule of thumb, and that's 80%. So for a long time, people have said that in order to maintain the lifestyle that you have while you're working, you should be saving about 80% of that income to maintain that lifestyle going into retirement. Now that, is not, scientific, but that's a good rule of thumb to think about.
Right.
And that can actually be more than you expect.
Okay, Charlie, we only have 30 seconds left for this last question. You also asked people about how much of their current incomes they would need to keep up their lifestyles. What do our followers think? What's the actual answer here?
It ranged from 0 to 200%, so
Wow.
people have not necessarily been thinking about this. Yes, 80% rule of thumb.
Okay, there it is. Bloomberg's personal finance reporter, Charlie Wells. He joins us each and every Friday to answer your personal finance questions.